Do you right now or from time to time feel jealousy in your open relationship? You know, open relationships is one of those wonderful format. Actually, it's the only format of relationship, mark my words, that can facilitate three things. And you know this already. Number one, love, genuine love for the other person, your genuine wanting for their happiness, well-being, and actualization. Number two, non-judgmental acceptance. You're accepting them for being the person that they are, in the configuration that they come in. And one of the aspects of being human, the conditions that we come in, is that we're not monogamous. We have not evolved to be monogamous. But how do we facilitate a relationship format or style or familial structure so that we don't have to clash with our evolutionary makeup? And that wonderful relationship style is an open relationship, which we've talked about a lot. And number three, open communication. Your ability to be able to communicate absolutely anything in the relationship without feeling emotional blackmail. But from time to time, jealousy will come up. And so there are three aspects of expectation management that we'll talk about that will be the umbrella to be able to communicate and handle jealousy in your relationship. You ready for them? Number one is you must manage what you expect of yourself. So let's talk about that. Have you managed what you expect of yourself when you enter into an open relationship or when you consider an open relationship? A lot of people, they say that I'm not a jealous person, but there's a saying, it is until it isn't. You could be perhaps what you perceive as someone who's not a jealous type until you become jealous. And part of expectation management about managing what you expect of yourself is, what will you do then when you do feel jealousy? Do you know enough about yourself to be able to handle that? So let's talk about one part about handling that is appreciating what jealousy is. Do you appreciate what jealousy is? Appreciation is not thank you or gratitude. Appreciation is full understanding of something, full grasp of something. Jealousy is a compound emotion, not a primary one. It's a compounded emotion of fear of loss and then the rage from feeling that fear of loss. It's a compound emotion of those two, fear of loss and then feeling that fear of loss. I want you to prove this to yourself. Never buy anything, never take anything I say for granted, never take anything I say as word. Test everything out for yourself. See how it works for you. So how do you test out that jealousy is a compound emotion? Well, whenever you feel jealousy, when you start feeling that green-eyed monster popping up, ask yourself, what is it do I fear losing? And then when you say, I don't fear losing anything, ask yourself again, stop and genuinely ask yourself, be honest with yourself. Tell yourself, if I were being completely honest with myself, what is it that I fear losing? And then you'll eventually come up with something. And then jealousy is a compounded emotion of that and the rage from feeling that fear of loss. It is the notion that it's your ego screaming at you saying, if I gave my beloved choice, they may not choose me. And so once you've felt that fear of loss, you will compound it with, well, then what I gotta do so that I will never lose them or they could, I don't feel this jealousy, I don't feel this fear of loss. Well, I have to geld them to me. I have to prevent them from having options so that I'm the only option. That is what jealousy is. And so you manage that and you recognize and appreciate that what kind of person, who am I to geld anyone from having options if I genuinely have those three foundational aspects of the relationship, which is a foundation, the fundamental of a happy, successful, open relationship, genuine love. Your genuine wanting for your beloved's happiness and actualization, whether or not you're involved. If you love them, you want them to pursue those things or even people that they like, admire, and enjoy, that make them feel more actualized. And the irony, the funny irony, it may not be funny to other people, but it's funny once you recognize it. Once you recognize truths, you see a lot of irony in life. The funny irony is that the more loving you are, the more you allow them to see other people, the more and more they will gravitate to you. The more and more they'll recognize, oh my gosh, there's no other person that loves me genuinely. When you have a best friend, you don't geld them from having their options, sexual options. The only reason people feel jealousy is because the penis or the vagina is involved. Once you got rid of that, you have a best friend. And best friend, you don't geld them, prevent them from having options. You celebrate them and encourage their having more options. They're having more success in their lives. They're having their actualization. They're reaching the goals that they want in their life. And because of that, the relationship merits its existence. They want to be there. And you want to be there, despite your allowing them to pursue all these other options. Why is that? It's because they appreciate the love, the genuine desire for their happiness, well-being, and gain and actualization. Number two, do you appreciate non-judgmental acceptance? Do you actually have non-judgmental acceptance in your relationship? Meaning, do you accept them for the person that they are? If they're a woman, they will do women things. If they're a man, they will do man things. And you recognize that women and men will do their own things, will do women things, will do men things, and they have not evolved to be monogamous. And so why be jealous? Why don't you facilitate their humanity? And then open communication is what we're talking about here in the next two aspects, which we're going to move on now. So you've taken care, you've really evaluated and reassessed what you think about relationships, open relationships, and jealousy, and it's how it dynamically interacts, interfaces with each other, and how you interface with the other person, and how when jealousy comes up, what'll you do? You've managed what you expect of yourself. And if you haven't handled those things, you won't be successful in an open relationship. So handle those things, and then you will have effortless, happy, wonderful, ecstatic open relationships. So number two part of expectation management is you manage what you expect of them. Do you know enough about them to know that how will they handle jealousy in a relationship, and how will they act in a relationship? And the way you find this out is very easy. You ask. People have tremendous thoughts about finding out about other people. Should I presume things about other people? Should I study more about the human condition? Should I read tons and tons of books to be able to understand humanity? You know, the shortcut to all of that, to build, and it happens to build a lot of intimacy, is just getting to know them by asking, finding out about them. The third aspect, the important aspect when you handle jealousy in the relationship, an open relationship, is managing what they can expect of you. And when it comes to this area of handling open relationships, when it comes to jealousy and how they interact and interface, communicate with them in this way. Perhaps it sounds like this. You don't have to say this verbatim. In fact, you never should say anything verbatim by how I say it, because I communicate differently than how you communicate. Communicate in your own words. And perhaps you can use some of my words when you communicate with them. And that's wonderful. As long as it's your words. When you say it enough times and it becomes natural to you, it's your words. Everything you learn, by the way, you learned from others. You learned in some way, in some form. Most of the things that you know, you've learned from others. So you communicate with them in this way. Hey, baby, you know, the wonderful thing about open relationships is that we can facilitate the three things that can't be facilitated in any other format of relationship, which is unconditional love, our genuine wanting for our own happiness, well-being, and gain, non-judgmental appreciation, non-judgmental acceptance, accepting the other person for who they are. You're being the woman that you are, or you're being the man that you are, and you will do man things, and that's wonderful. And open communication, are completely being able to communicate openly with each other. Maybe at some point down the line, you know, we say that we're not the jealous type or whichever, but it is until it isn't. So if any point in our relationship either one of us feel jealous, we are encouraged to be able to communicate about it with each other candidly and be able to address it, listen to each other non-judgmentally, and be able to talk about it. At some point, maybe down the line, perhaps for whatever reason, it's a time of the month, or you really would like some appreciation, you really would like some time for yourself, you can ask for a favor. Either one of us can ask for a favor and ask for more attention on us rather than on other people for whatever reason, for just that very moment. And either one of us will happily and enjoyably give that kind of attention because we love to and we want to, because that's, after all, why we're in a relationship, an unconditionally loving relationship, because we want to be around each other. And this is something I would happily do if ever you feel jealousy. When jealousy being the compounded emotion of fear of loss, or the rage of feeling that fear of loss. If you ever feel that way, and jealousy the green-eyed monster rears its ugly head, be able to communicate about it, and each of us will address it appropriately and be able to communicate with each other. And if the issue is either one of us just needs more attention for some reason, we'll happily give it. It's not a problem. So did you catch that? Remember, the 3 aspects of expectation management is managing what you expect of yourself, managing what you expect of others, and managing what they can expect of you. And this will facilitate for you a wonderful, happy relationship in any other format. But it just so happens that an open relationship is the only one which can facilitate a non-jealous relationship, because it's genuinely wanting for your beloved's happiness, unconditional love, non-judgmental acceptance, accepting the person for who they are, being the human condition, having the human condition that they have, and open communication, each of our ability to be able to communicate absolutely anything with each other. If this video helped you with your relationship, with your open relationship, click the link, or rather, click the thumbs up, helps out my channel, and spread the word. Spread the word with other people, share this video with other people, and you'll help make the world a better place for all of us by getting rid of jealousy, which is a tremendous high ratio of the sources of crimes and much of the suffering this world has. And if you want to learn more about open relationships or relationships in general and psychology and personal development, click the link in my bio and you'll find a lot of some courses in there that are absolutely amazing. I really encourage you to take them. Leave a comment below, share what your thoughts are. I would love to hear them and conversate with you. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.